No more war!
An anti-war protest in Stamford, Connecticut, and emotions are running high.
Well, yourself.
Excuse me, sir!
Crap. There for 911.
There's a demonstration getting a little out of hand.
Just a block away, an Army recruiting station.
Where are you going?
I'm going to enlist.
Don't go!
And this man is on his way to sign up.
This guy wants to kill women and children. Nobody's killing any women and children.
Soon, this passerby steps in.
That's his decision. And anybody who wants to enlist in the greatest army in the world, fine.
He strongly disagrees with the protesters, but stays calm while defending the recruit.
It is honorable and good if that's what he wants to do.
Time to tell him he's on What Would You Do?
Hi, I'm John Quinones with ABC. This is all part of a TV show called What Would You Do? They're actors.
Oh, okay.
We wanted to see whether anyone would get involved.
They're out of their minds.
You're glad you stopped, and you do it again.
I wish it were a real situation so I would be talking to real-world idiots.
And there are many real protests out there that turn nasty today across the political spectrum. Taunts and insults often drown out civil debate.
Oh, I'm a dumbass.
I'm serious. How much?
We wanted to know if passers-by would step in to calm the fire or fan the flames. So we rigged cameras in windows, hid them in trees, even wedged one into a street sign. The protesters, armed with pickets and hidden microphones, are all actors we've hired. Once in place, we also send in this man, pretending to be a recruit, into the scene with our protesters. And the action begins.
I think you just want to grab a gun and shoot people. That's what I think.
Reaction is swift.
You're not going to change their minds. Walk away. You guys have signed to say peace and all this stuff. You don't seem to be going about it in a peaceful way. Listen, you're calling him a baby killer. I look at you and I say you're a I can take you apart in 2 seconds. You think that's over the line? I think that's over the line. And I'm not saying that about you. But if I did, that would be over the line, don't you think? That'd be in your face and that would be wrong. Just like you calling him a baby killer. It's not going to get you where you want to go.
Many other pedestrians either stare or just walk on by. Now it's time to up the ante. What'll happen if we swap out our recruit with an actor playing a veteran? The actor Nick also happens to be a real-life war veteran. We tell Nick to try to debate the protesters reasonably.
My name is Nick. How do you do?
But we've instructed the protesters to surround him and chant in his face.
This guy is a war criminal.
This time, several men come to Nick's defense and try to be reasonable.
I don't agree with the war, but I support you guys. And
Why are you getting at a military man? Politics, senators, presidents, that's who you're after. You're not after to captains who protect you.
I wouldn't agree that
who
you would
protect you? Come on.
But now watch this man, who can barely contain his anger against the torrent of abuse he's hearing.
Guys, is this good, picking on a guy like this? Is this good for you?
If
He's a war criminal.
To enlist,
You don't even know what a war criminal is.
do you know what a war criminal is?
You heard me. I'll tell you because I was in the Marines for 4 years over there, so go yourself, okay?
Well, that's helpful. That's really helpful.
Excuse me, sir. You have no right to talk to us.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
They're not picking an old man. How about talking in normal tone to him instead of ganging up on the guy?
I'm sorry we made you upset, but it's part of the show, and this is what it's all about. It bothered you that they were picking on him.
You can't be a peace lover and pick on some and then bully somebody. You know?
Bit of a contradiction there.
It is. It is.
This man intervenes even though he has mixed feelings about the war. What he doesn't like is the disrespect that Nick is subjected to.
I completely support your right to do this and to have your views, but one, you're doing it in front of an Army recruitment center, which I think is really low class. But also, I mean, at least support the troops. This guy's a hero. This guy went over.
To some people, not to everyone.
Well, to me.
If we do exactly what you're saying, we will be overcome by terrorism.
Meanwhile, this local resident, watching in amazement as the veteran is abused, also jumps right in.
I won't judge him. He has his right to his opinion. I'm not saying we shouldn't support it. I'm not into that legal battle. But what about our people right here? black, white, whatever color they may be, that's born here, that's raised here, that live in the United States.
Exactly.
Where is their help?
And we're in a
She has so much passion, we just have to talk to her.
I agree with some of the things they're saying, not all of what they're saying. You know, because they keep calling Captain Nick, you know, keep battling him down.
To my surprise, Vanessa then takes me across the street to show me the war she thinks we should be fighting.
How you doing, sir?
Well, look at the war that we're fighting here. We're fighting homelessness. We're fighting kids trying to get an education. We have a fight right here that we're losing.
These anti-war protesters have been loudly chanting on a Stamford, Connecticut street. They're all actors working for us, and so far, they've taunted an Army recruit
Don't kill babies!
and a veteran who are also actors.
This guy is a war criminal.
But what if we turn the tables? Will anyone step in if it's now the protesters who are shouted down?
You guys are obnoxious! Why don't
We send in this actor playing an angry woman.
This is my hometown! Why don't you guys go somewhere else? This is ridiculous!
We then send in another actor, Tony, also a real-life veteran.
Bunch of morons.
You're supporting me?
We told the two of them to pretend to frighten the protesters into shutting up and leaving town.
We can't.
You're standing for something! Give me a sign!
It's an intimidating scene, and one alarmed witness even calls 911.
911, where's your emergency?
The police already know we're here.
There was a demonstration with some kids. There's an older man that's kind of attacking them. He's like snatching their signs, yelling at them, screaming at them.
But others ignore the action.
Are you okay with this?
Few people are bold enough to actually step in until this man comes along.
Our troops that are dying, okay? Now, are you threatening me? I'm threatening. I saw you threaten him. Oh, you saw nothing. I think you should walk on. I don't think so. Okay?
I'm just upset that they're protesting in my town.
That's right.
what I'm upset
Give
about.
them their property back. America is a plurality. Everyone is allowed their voice.
What if
but that's
I
what
feel
the troops
violated?
are fighting for is freedom of speech. Right?
Right. It's ridiculous. Do you have anybody that fought in the war?
My grandfather was a career soldier. Fought in World War I and II. He's buried in Arlington Cemetery.
Wow.
Yeah.
And these people don't offend you at all?
Not at all.
Others find more ways to protect the protesters' rights. This woman videotapes the scene to collect evidence against the threatening intruders. Then there's this guy, watching in disbelief as our actor, veteran Tony, steals one of their signs. Now see what happens when he impulsively sneaks up and yanks it back.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
These guys aren't supporting our troops.
Our troops.
So what, man? That's some bull about the war.
He stands tough against Tony's bluster. Then, the biggest surprise, this man who just returned the sign to the protesters, well, he just got out of the military himself.
You were in the army about 2 years, my man. Whatever. Yeah. Just gonna take their signs away, remember?
Then there's this woman who interrupts to sternly lecture the attackers.
Y'all need to stop. These people talking about peace. Now you done broke up.
But they're not supporting our troops.
They're over
You
there.
don't have to. You're not supporting
But you just
them.
got through saying people don't support our troops.
Right.
I'm talking about when they come home. I don't need you to interpret what I'm saying. I speak clear. I'm talking when they come home. You tore up their poster. They didn't come
It's offensive.
They didn't come and do anything. They're against
Come
the
and
war.
take your stuff.
So what are you guys doing with our veterans?
Well, this is what I think of it, okay? This.
Are you serious?
Crap.
Are you serious?
Are you all right?
Yes, I am.
I'm serious.
Definitely time to step in.
Put the camera away. I ain't on no camera. That's their opinion. I'm not here to make a soundbite. I'm not here to sell a movie.
This is all part of a show called What Would You Do? And I'm John Quinones.
And I'm an actor. This is our buddy here. They love me.
When he took that sign and he ripped it up, what was going through your mind?
I wanted to rip him up. I really did, because I really felt that he was bullying them. They were trying to be polite.
And I am a nice guy. Come here. Hug time. All right.
Because I was going to beat you up.
I am a nice guy.
Thank you so much. That was great.
At the end of the day, our actors were surprised at how many people simply ignored them.
I mean, I couldn't believe that even when things began to get increasingly violent, everyone continued to sort of just stand around.
Everybody's just videotaping around us instead of helping or saying anything.
Guys, is this good? Picking on a guy like this? Is this good for you?
Are often shouted down, our scenario found some people willing to step in to let both sides be heard. For actor Tony, that's a far cry from the country he came back to after the Vietnam War.
Literally, if you walked the streets, people would spit at you. I mean, baby killer was, that went on like it was crazy. So no one wore the uniform, okay?
And yet you think they have a right to do so?
Absolutely, because, like you say, this country was built on protest.